This is part 2 of the chapter Human Eye and the Colorful World of Standard 10th. After having seen the basic parts and the functionings of the human eye, we will actually see how a human eye works. So there is a simple flow diagram which will help us understand very clearly how light enters, how an image is formed, and how we can actually see that image. So the first part is, this is a part of a flow diagram. The light enters the eye through the cornea. Light from an object, obviously. When light falls on an object and the light from the object is reflected into our eyes, first it passes through the cornea. From the cornea it passes through the pupil and it enters the crystalline lens. We have seen the crystalline lens. It enters the crystalline lens. Then it passes through the vitreous humor and it ultimately reaches the photosensitive, or we can say light sensitive screen called the retina. Now, as we have learned, the retina has a lot of rods and cones, so it is a photosensitive screen. Now, a real and inverted image is formed on the screen of the retina or on the retina. Then these inverted images, this is sent through electrochemical signals through the optic nerves. They are sent to the brain in the visual lobe. Now the brain perceives it and gives us a sensation of how the image is looking at. So the optic signal is responsible for carrying the signal to the virtual area of the brain, and it is the brain which makes us see the signal. For example, we can say this. Now this is a tree. This is a very nice diagram. This is a tree, actual tree, upright tree, which our eyes are looking at. Now as we have already seen, the image is formed on the retina, real and inverted. Now this real and inverted image is sent as such in the form of electrochemical signals through the optic nerves to the visual or the virtual area of the brain. Now the brain will tell us, it will make the natural required processing, and what we see actually is the actual image, which is, again, if you see, again we will be seeing the upright image we will be seeing here. So this is what the eyes do, but remember, all this happens in fractions of seconds. Immediate we can see things. So these are very fast processes which help us unable to see things as they are. So this is how is the working of the human eye. Now there are some terms which are related to the human eye. These are, what is the power of accommodation? Accommodation means making itself comfortable. So the power of accommodation, it is the ability of the human eye or the lens to adjust itself its focal length. Why focal length? Because not objects in the world or around us are at the same length. Some are near, some are very near, some are far, some are medium far, some are very far away. So to see anything, if you take just a camera, we have to adjust it manually. We have to adjust the focus manually. But remember, we have a natural optical device which we have called as an eye, in which the focal length is adjusted automatically. Now this facility of adjustment of focal length automatically is called the power of accommodation. And how does it happen? It happens due to the action of the ciliary muscles. And what do they do? They will adjust the eyeball or the focus or the focal length of that object in such a way that we get a sharp image at the focus. Only when we get a sharp image at the focus, the brain will see and give you a sharp image of the object whichever is visible. Now there is a limit. It cannot expand. The ciliary metals cannot expand or contract to any limit. So there is a limit. So it can increase or decrease the focal length depending on the power of accommodation. For a normal person, the power of accommodation is given to us above 4 diopters. So this is, now what happens is, as people grow old, about 40, 45, we can see that some people, generally people above 40, they start wearing glasses or spectacles. Now why is this? This is because the ability or the power accommodation of the eyes naturally decrease with age. So the eyes immediately cannot adjust its focal length, due to which objects are not visible very sharply. Now some people have it right from birth. Some, if you see small kids, they are making specs. It is because of the defect in the human. The ciliary muscles are not perfect, due to which the focal length cannot be adjusted, due to which objects cannot be seen sharply, because they are not focused at the in the focal length. Now this decreases as per the age. After the age of 40, the power of accommodation decreases and you have to use a bifocal lens. So both near and far of objects cannot be visible. Now there are two other things which we should know. What is the near point of a human eye? So near point is the clearest. Near point is the clearest one for which a normal eye can see. That is called the near point, and the farthest point are called the far point, far away point. So maximum we can see at infinity. So the normal vision for a normal person, the far point is infinite, and the near point of a normal human person is supposed to be 25 centimeters. So even when we are reading some things, we should keep the books at 25 centimeters, which is up to be the ideal range of this. Then what is called the range of vision? The range of vision, range, as we have studied in statistics, the difference between the maximum and the minimum values. Similarly, in case of range of vision in physics in the human eye, it is considered as the distance between the near point and the far point. Now there is one important property of the human eye called persistence of vision. So what exactly do we mean of persistence of vision? Now we are always seeing still objects. The images are clicked in our brain in still objects, but when we see a movie or a camera or a serial or a mobile, we see images are moving. Now how does that happen? Now that happens to a phenomenon called the persistence of vision. Now what happens is, whenever an image is clicked in the brain, it stays in the brain in our memory for 1/16th of a second. Immediately next image comes, but before the next image, first image fades away, the next image is always ready. So there is a continuity in the vision of the images. Now this makes the images to be moving. This is exactly what is done in film making and cinematography and all that thing. So the image of an object formed in the retina does not vanish immediately. It stays for 1/16th of a second. Now this phenomenon is called the persistence of vision. So any image that is flashed more than 16 images per second, so it is 16 frames per second, it will be seen as a moving image. So this is what is called persistence of vision. So generally when we see motion pictures or we see TV serials and all this, they are the images are fed to our eyes at a speed of 24 or more frames per second, means 24 or more pictures per second, still pictures a second. But when they are moving so fast, we feel as if the images in that are actually moving. Now this is the diagram of a normal human eye. So this is the cornea. These are the light from the what we say, parallel lines coming from the object. This is the normal crystalline lens, and normally it will be exactly focused on the retina and we see a perfect images. Now the question comes, why do humans have two eyes? Why not one eye? So what is the difference? There is a lot of difference between having two eyes and one eye. With one eye, the horizontal view, if you take just one horizontal view, it is 150 degrees. But if you are taking two eyes, the vision becomes 180 degrees. Now other than that, with two eyes, the ability to detect faint objects is enhanced with two eyes. So the two eyes of the humans are positioned in such a way that first the field of view is more. See, more than 180 degrees we can see. Second is three-dimensional views are possible. It's very, very important to feel the depth, height and everything. 3 dimensions. The third is the coordination with the brain can give the concept of distance. We can easily see, we say something, it is very near to me, it is far off for me, maybe 100 meters, maybe 50 meters. How do you get that estimation? That estimation we get only because of the 3D effect. A picture is created in our brain. So this is how. So we will just see how exactly an object is seen. If you see, there is a boat and there is a person. This is a boat, there is a person, 2 eyes. Now each eye will see the boat at a different angle. Each eye will be seen at the boat with a different angle. But if you see the signals which reach the brain and the visual lobe of the brain processes it, and it fuses both the images into one simple 3D picture. So when both eyes work together, we get a one 3D image which makes us feel the real thing. So this is how images are formed in the mirror. Thank you.